Hey everyone, welcome to the MLB Coast to Coast podcast. I am Nicole Russo, filling in this week as your host. I'm here with Mo Nawara, the baseball expert from thelines.com. We are covering 3 games in today's video. And as always, if you still need a FanDuel account or a DraftKings account, make sure you go to fdpicks.com or dkpicks.com to sign up for a new account. And if you are looking for written content, make sure to head over to thelines.com. And as always, hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and ring the bell so you stay up to date with every video that we post. Mo, how you feeling today?
Feeling good, even though I'm really tired. Long drive through the night last night, leaving this poker tournament. But baseball season goes on, so got to get back on the horse here.
You have your cup of coffee with you? All right, so we are ready to go. The first game that we are going to be covering is the Red Sox versus the Houston Astros. Right now, the Sox are minus 124, and the over-under is sitting at 9. This is going to be the first game of a 3-game series at Fenway. The Astros are coming off of an 11-game win streak that was just recently snapped by the Nationals, but they are still leading the AL West with a 22-12 record. Boston, on the other hand, last in the AL East with a 13-20 record. Whitlock is going to be the starting pitcher for the Red Sox, with Odorizzi taking the mound for the Astros. Mo, what do you have for this game?
This one I like Boston. Probably won't be a surprise to too many people listening to this. Everyone knows, I think, by now that listens to this, that I love Garrett Whitlock. He's just been fantastic since he moved into the rotation. I mean, he was great before that too. But yeah, his quality of opponents faced as a starter has been really, really high. Atlanta, Angels, and then the Blue Jays twice. And he's put up a 3.0 ERA, 2.97 FIP. That's just his rotation numbers. He was even better than that, as you would expect when he was a reliever. The only really hole I can find is that batters are hitting him pretty hard when they do connect with the baseball. He has like a 91 average exit velocity, which isn't very good, but overall he's been great. And I don't think the market has given him enough respect so far, so I'm still going to keep riding him, especially against an opponent that I'm not thinking is pitching very well here in Jake Odorizzi. I was able to ride one of his earlier starts, and he's just been really, really good, honestly, outcomes wise, but his skills look pretty poor. Called strike plus whiff rate down to 22.4%. That's way, way below average. His chase rate is the worst it's been since he became a full-time starter. So is his walk rate. It just looks like disaster is looming over the edge of this cliff he's coming up to me, but he's been surviving based on, he's gotten a lot of pop-ups, which is a skill he has. That's legitimate. But I don't think he's going to get quite this much. He's up to 20% of his fly balls are pop-ups, and then really low home run rate to 2.9% home run per fly ball. That's not going to stick around. And he's a guy who is interesting this year because of the dead baseball. He's such a fly ball heavy guy that the dead baseball really does rate to help him more than it rates to help almost anybody. But I still think 5.04 Sierra and his xWOBA, which is basically what the contact should be causing as far as like opposing offenses, is below average, but his actual WOBA is way above. So I think he's just getting really lucky, and the Astros also might still be missing Jeremy Pena. I'm not sure. He's their rookie shortstop, been really good for them. Good defender, and Aledmus Diaz, who has been playing in his place, is really bad defender. So I just think Red Sox should probably be closer to minus 140 here. I'm seeing some minus 130s out there, which is kind of like the normal line, it looks like. I think that's good enough to play still. So, yeah, I do like Boston here.
Sounds good. All right, let's go to our next game for today's video, which is going to be the Seattle Mariners versus the Toronto Blue Jays. They are going to be facing off in Toronto. Flexen will be on the mound for Seattle with, and I am truly hoping I am saying this right, Yusei Kikuchi. Did I get it?
You got him.
Wow, look at that. First try. Pitching for Toronto, Seattle is plus 140 at the moment, with the Blue Jays at minus 160 on the money line, and total runs for this game sitting at 8.5. This will be Flexen's 7th start of the season, but he is coming off of his worst performance in 2022 after giving up 6 runs on 9 hits in 5 innings against the Phillies in a 9-0 loss. Taking a look at Toronto, they are coming off of a 3-game series against the Rays, losing 2 out of those 3 games. Mo, who do you like for this matchup?
I wish I had better things to say about Toronto so far. And you know, because I got some Toronto plus 1,000 to win the World Series before the season. Man, their offense just has not been near what it was supposed to be. And anyone who has listened to this before also is going to know this is kind of the opposite of the previous game. I don't have anything good to say about Chris Flexen. I don't think he's a good pitcher, but Yusei Kikuchi is pretty much on that exact same level, to be honest. His walk rate stinks. If you just have some discipline, Kikuchi's going to walk you. 14.9% walk rate so far. That's abysmal. And the Mariners do have discipline. 7th best walk rate in MLB, 11th lowest swing percent outside the zone. So their chase rate is very good. And also another reason they match up well, they've hit lefties pretty well. 8th best WRC plus against them. Don't know how real that is, but it's happening so far. So I think they're at least solid. And they also hit very low number of grounders, 9th lowest in MLB. And Kikuchi's skill that he does have, he is still getting a lot of grounders, but overall he's been pretty bad. I do also agree with the over steam that's been coming in. It's like 8.5 even. When I woke up, it's already up to 8.5 minus 120 on the over. I think if you parlay Mariners, if you want to do like something a little aggressive, you can parlay. I talked about this with Cleveland game a while back. It came through. Parlay Mariners with the over. Because I do think it's a little bit correlated. I think Toronto is bound to score on Flexen, even though their offense has been pretty bad. I'm stunned how bad they've been. 18th in MLB and with WRC plus of 96. I mean, it's subpar by definition. You know, anything under 100 is bad. And another thing is with 2 bad pitchers, you do kind of want to look at the relief cores. And Toronto's has not been as good as Seattle's, not even close. Seattle did rate to have one of the best relief pitcher cores in MLB, and it's been that good so far. They've been third in K minus VB percent and 3rd in Sierra, and Toronto is bottom 10 in both of those. So I think basically if both teams kind of get on the board early and get these starters out by the 4th or 5th inning, Seattle does have an advantage in that sort of shootout game.
It's hard betting one of those games where you don't really like either of the teams. It sounds like not too excited for either of them.
Yeah, I don't like the Mariners and I don't like Chris Flexen, but I just can't get behind Toronto being this big of a favorite, I guess.
That makes sense. All right, we are going to finish it off with the Pittsburgh Pirates at the Chicago Cubs. I will actually be there for tomorrow night's game. My Pens are out of the NHL playoffs, so I guess it's time to root for the Pirates if you can even root for the Pirates. They are plus 140 on the money line. Total runs for this game sitting at 8.5. Pirates are coming off of a 4-game split with the Reds, with Chicago just behind in the NL Central standings at 13-20 after winning 2 of 3 against the Diamondbacks. For me, this is feeling like going to a minor league baseball game at Wrigley, but how do you feel?
I mean, I kind of like the Pirates here as decent sized underdogs. Kind of similar situation to the Seattle game, honestly. And yeah, I just got to say it's, you know, not too many lives in baseball tougher than being a Pirates fan for the last 30 years. So my condolences.
It's okay. We have 2 sports that we're decent at. I mean, football is going to be abysmal next season, but hey, Pens have not let us down, so we can't complain too much.
Oh, man, the baseball side's been bad, and after a decent start this year, they've kind of been tailing off. But one guy who's actually been pretty solid for them is this Dylan Peters, lefty reliever. He's kind of taken an opener type of role, similar to what Tampa Bay has done for the last couple of years. And he's been kind of good. Now I'll say, first of all, 109 BABIP, you look at that, you're like, okay, this guy's been insanely lucky. This is going to regress. And it will. Nobody's going to obviously have a 109 BABIP, but 294 xWOBA on his StatCast page. That's still very good. 2.99 xERA. He's doing enough to limit contact, basically limit hard contact, that he's still going to be solid if he keeps that up. One interesting thing, he's actually throwing quite a bit harder, up 2 miles per hour on his fastball. Usually when you transition from relief to, I mean, I don't know if I want to call it starting. He is starting, but he's not like trying to go 5 innings or anything. That's usually going to make you lose fastball velocity, but it's been the opposite for him so far. So that's a pretty good sign if he can keep that up. And yeah, on the other side you got Wade Miley. He's been pretty solid the last few years, really leaning into just that like crafty lefty, limit contact type of deal, but it doesn't seem like he's really ready. I'm not really sure what happened. He came back from the injured list, and yeah, he only went 3 innings, 5 walks, 1 strikeout. That's really poor. I don't really know if he's got a feel for the baseball. Yeah, we've seen a lot of pitchers come into the season with the shortened spring training, kind of struggling with their command and control. And yeah, another really awesome bullpen here as far as results go from the Cubs. So on the surface, you would say, well, yeah, maybe they can just ride their bull. But I don't. I'm looking at these names, and I just Rowan, Wick, Michael, Given, these guys. I just don't think these guys are just going to keep crushing it and have the Cubs anywhere near where they're at. Honestly, right now, Pittsburgh's offense actually been okay so far, and the Cubs' offense, after they started out the season on fire, with Seiya Suzuki looking like down ballot MVP candidate, but it's been pretty cold lately. So I think, you might see some offense when you go to the game, depending. It's like so wind heavy in Wrigley. It just like matters so much which way the wind's going. Not today, I don't think, but yeah, I just think this is a spot where, with Dylan Peters able to give them some decent innings to open up, they shouldn't be this big of underdogs against like pretty much a total question mark in Wade Miley right now.
Let's be honest, I'm there for the concessions. I'm there for the hot dogs. But if I get a Pirates win, that's a bonus, but I'm really there for the concessions. All right, that wraps it up for the games we are going to be talking about today. I will be here with Mo every day this week. He will be giving picks on not every game, but every day this week on MLB games. Remember to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up, and ring the bell to stay up to date, and we will see you next time.